Welcome to Velocity. My name is Bengt Nilsson. Today we're going to look at where the colors in Velocity, where they come from. So when you come into Velocity and you go to Pipeline, Project Status, you will get a list of all your projects. The list will be organized after the planned target dates. So it will look something like this. What you also will see is that the different projects will have different colors. Some will be yellow, some will be red, and some will be green. And the reason for this is that in Velocity we calculate the remaining risk of the project being late. We use a methodology called critical chain for this. So what we have is that each of these delivery dates is protected by a shock absorber. So it looks like a box like this. And this shock absorber, the size of that, is dynamically calculated based on the remaining variance of the tasks that need to be completed. So those that have a high uncertainty, like 5 to 15 days left and things like that, that will help to build a bigger need for a bigger buffer or shock absorber like this. Other projects that have smaller variance will have smaller buffers looking like this. So on one hand we have the delivery date and the shock absorber. On the other hand we have the remaining work that needs to be completed. So that is what we see here. So this project has this much remaining work that takes this long to complete. So it means that it is using a little bit of the buffer. When we lay out the remaining work, it is finishing here even before the buffer, meaning that it's very green, and some may be just touching the buffer. So, and then there are some that are utilizing a large portion of the buffer. And these are the ones that are red. These are the ones that are at risk of overrunning the delivery date. So it means that we have a calculated way to decide what projects are actually at risk of being late and which are not. So the project will get a color based on this. Okay, but let's look at the details of this. So if we go to a specific project and look how it looks inside. So we can go to this one, Order 420, Customer CCD. So let's look at the Gantt of that one. So we go to the Gantt view of that project and we can see what it looks like. So here we can see the remaining work that needs to be completed laid out as a Gantt. And we can see here is then this shock absorber that is needed. And we can see that here is a longest chain of tasks, or a critical chain or a critical path that is utilizing 85% of the buffer. And this means that it is in the red zone. So the buffer will be red, and those tasks that are on the critical chain, they will also be red. Other tasks have some slack. So what we do is we calculate where the project would finish if these were in control. So we subtract the slack. And what happens is that then we end up in the yellow zone. So these will be yellow. And this one, if we subtract all the slack this one has, that means both this slack and this slack, then we would end up in the green zone. So it means that here is a relative urgency of course, these tasks, the red ones, to really focus and finish, whereas there is some slack on these others. So if they are delayed, it won't hurt the delivery date. So therefore they have a different color. So this means that even though this project is red, we don't have to be in a hurry with all the tasks. Some have some slack. Okay, so this we now use when we go to the tasks and we look at all the tasks from all the projects in our database. And then we have filtered out now, so we see a selection of these tasks. And we can see that these tasks now have different colors. And when you go into the task list, it will be sorted. So at the top will be the tasks that are available to work on now and that we are actually working on. So here it says in progress. So these we are working on. So those are on top. But here is now the interesting ones, the ones we have not started. So these will be sorted after which ones are available now to work on. And then we have those, the date when they are predicted to be available. So it means that if we are going to select a new task to work on, we can select between these, and we can now see that this one is much more urgent to work on than these. So it means that Velocity will help people to select work in the right sequence. Okay, I hope you thought this was interesting, and please check out our other videos where you get a deeper understanding of how Velocity works. Thank you very much for today. Bye.